Hi, my name is Heather Carpenter, and I'm here representing Charter College as one of their library coordinators. The book that I have chosen to read is John Steinbeck, The Grapes of Wrath. And this is important to me because I grew up in Steinbeck country. I actually performed at the opening of the National Steinbeck Center. And every time I read books by Steinbeck, particularly ones about California, they remind me of home. And so I'm going to be starting in chapter 26. And what this means to me is this is important history for the state of California. This is telling the workers' stories as they were lived. And I think that's important to share with our youth today. "Casey," Tom cried. "Casey, for Christ's sake, what you doing here? Why, my God, it's Tom Joad. Come on in, Tommy, come on in." "Know him, do ya?" the man in front asked. "Know him? Christ, yes. Knowed him for years. I come west with him. Come on in, Tom." He clutched Tom's elbow and pulled him into the tent. 3 other men sat on the ground, and in the center of the tent a lantern burned. The men looked up suspiciously. A dark-faced, scowling man held out his hand. "Glad to meet you," he said. "I heard what Casey said. This the fellow you was telling about?" "Sure, this is him." "Well, for God's sake, where's your folks? What you doing here?" "Well," Tom said, "we heard they was work this way, and we come, and a bunch of state cops run us into here ranch, and we've been picking peaches all afternoon. I seen a bunch of fellas yelling. They wouldn't tell me nothing, so I come here to see what's going on. How in hell did you get here, Casey?" The preacher leaned forward, and the yellow lantern light fell on his high, pale forehead. "Jailhouse is a kind of funny place," he said. "Here's me been a-going into the wilderness like Jesus to try to find out something. Almost got her sometimes, too. But it's in the jailhouse I really got her." His eyes were sharp and merry. "Great big old cell, and she's full all the time. You guys come in and guys go out, and of course I talk to all of them." "Of course you did," said Tom. "Always talk. If you was up on the gallows, you'd be passing the time of day with the hangman. Never seen such a talker." The men in the tent chuckled. A wizened little man with a wrinkled face slapped his knee. "Talks all the time," he said. "Folks kind of likes to hear him, though." "Used to be a preacher," said Tom. "Did he tell you that?" "Sure he told." Casey grinned. "Well, sir," he went on, "I begin getting at things. Some of them fellas in the tank was drunks, but mostly it was here 'cause they stole stuff, and mostly it was stuff they needed and couldn't get no other way, you see," he asked. "No," said Tom. "Well, they was nice fellas, you see. What made 'em bad was they needed stuff, and I begin to see then, it's need what makes trouble, and ain't got it worked out. Well, one day they give us some beans that was sour. One fella started yelling and nothing happened. He yelled his head off. Trusty come along and looked in and went on. Then another fella yelled. Well, sir, then we all got yelling. And we all got on the same tone, and I tell you, it just seemed like the tank was bulls and give to swell up. By God, then something happened. They come a-running, and they give us some other stuff to eat and give it to us, you see." "No," said Tom. Casey put his chin down on his hands. "Maybe I can't tell you," he said. "Maybe you got to find out."